right. All right. Peace and blessings, Sapo, the success scholar, honorable one, Haki Shakur me here. Thank you all for tuning in and listening in to this discussion here. Man, it's Wednesday morning. Uh, weather is look like it's gonna rain, man, but it was a little humid this morning, but got a chance to go out and go through things. But I wanted to do this piece because many people have asked me, about Mr. Glover and what I thought went on. For him to have the longest running customized show on 1010 AM, you would think that he would have been in a strategic position, that he would have been in a strategic position to, I would think eventually, once Larry Young was, went and, retired, everyone retires eventually. But you would think that Donnie Glover obviously was the best person in position to, fill that role. I mean, obviously he had enough support to support a regular show on that station. He had enough supporters or corporate endorsers or whomever sponsors that supported that work. But sometimes money is not the only thing that that's good for business, right? Sometimes the individual's character, as well as their diplomacy, their decorum, trumps individuals' money. Now, let me just say, business are in the business of making money, but also corporations have a corporate responsibility. That is to ensure that their community is protected and their community is safe. And this is the responsibility of, certainly should be the responsibility of Black radio. And this is why we need to hold, Black radio accountable. And this is why individuals like myself, I question certain things, and some people get upset. People want to, refer to me as a hater or suggest that I'm jealous of a particular individual. But I mean, no, I have absolutely no reason, for those who know the moves I'm making, the people that I've been affiliated with, over the years, and how I show up at the right places where the most healthiest, empowered, connected, intelligent, the best looking, shall I say, persons that have optimal cash flows, shall I say, are showing up. I don't need to take a second fiddle to nobody, but I know when to be humble and when to support. And let me just say, my relationship with Donnie Glove, I've been a supporter of his for years and years and years. We had some differences at one particular time, but eventually we kind of overcame that, and I supported his Black Harlem event, gave him money, supported, went to the one he did in Randallstown, hell, up to New York, to Harlem, to Prince George's County. Went to Prince George's County with him on several occasions. Well, definitely one. Went to the Half Notes. We went to when the Black firefighters had something in Prince George's County. He did something in Silver Spring. I did footage for him. I shot an event down here at Prince George's County Community College for Be More News. I shot another clip where Shay and Trevor did for Be More News. For him, gave money, contributed, was a sponsor on several occasions. What did he give me? One award. I never, in his 15, 14 years, came on his show, not a single one time. Maybe called in every once in a while. He never invited me to the studio. I never asked, because I'm just like, I mean, look, I know what knowledge I have. I know what work I'm doing. I'm not gonna sit here and wait for gatekeepers, to block, to allow for them to open some door for me. No, No. I got too much going on. I got too many skills. If I, you know, if Baltimore broke Baltimore, Bama's, you know, from the east side, you know, wanna act a certain way, then I go to the west side. I go to DC. Hell, go up to Philly, wherever I need to continue to build, because you know, talented people gonna spot knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and talent. And so what I'm saying is that when I supported these individuals and the other brother, Daren Muhammad, I supported him, you know, hell, more than I did Donnie. You know, like when he didn't have transportation, I would go get him either before I went to work or after I got off work, you know, take him around. I did that for like 6 months. Take him around to the barber shops, take him around to the different uh, barbershops and different, well, mostly the barbershops and the bookstore where, you know, and the places where he sold his audios. I did that for 6 months, right? Didn't ask for nothing, gave money. Like, and some people think that just because you help with somebody that they, you know, ungrateful individuals, oh shoot, they just assume that you're supposed to kiss up to them forever. And here was the breaking point. Here's where I realized like that, you know, I needed to do my own thing. I need to be my own man. I need to be independent. And sometimes I would give money for radio shows to some of these individuals. Like, for instance, you know, in the case of Daren, I recall one time, you know, and now he's finally begin to talk about the LGBTQ issues when I've been going to DC for years, going to the lectures that the brothers did for years. You didn't even know about it, right? I I brought them, was the first one to bring them here. The first one to bring Mawali Mubarudi to Baltimore, right? Because these folks weren't reading, they weren't studying, you know, they weren't giving people a clear early vision, right, of, you know, the dynamics of this uh, LGBTQ movement and its interaction. So we balanced that. In my journalistic abilities, you know, we balanced that, brought some different views, some insightful visionaries, those that have done research on different analysis. And so, with that being said, when individuals, for instance, when I bought Baruti one time, I don't know, I gave a bro $100 or something like that. He only had Baruti on for 30 minutes. I'm like, damn, man, I ain't worth, Baruti not worth, you know, like an hour. Like, really? That's where I started realizing that some folk, they just so selfish, man. They just so selfish and needy that they can't even share. They can't even see young talent that can finance what you're doing. But you know, like you gotta give some, you know, and you don't shortchange a scholar like Mwali Mubarudi, give him just 30 minutes. You know, the people need to hear. They need to hear from him then, brother. And I definitely wouldn't ask Donnie Glover, you know, for that. So I'm saying that some people out here, man, you know, I don't know, they got some little strange ways of thinking. You know, they intimidated. They're intimidated by younger individuals just because, you know, I've studied the most relevant topics of empowerment and discussion, and this is how I'm maneuvering. And many people, they see where I'm going to be, the alliances that I've created. So this is why, you know, individuals were beginning, you know, to block the rise of the success scholar. And so I'm saying, but let me make my point why they both were removed. I believe, and I can speculate on Donnie Glover, but I mean, to be on air for 15 years, you must have did something quite serious just to like be gone, just to be gone. Let me tell you what I speculate what it was. And him, you know, I think that it was his tone, temperament, uh, his tone and temperament, as well as the nature of the conversation that he had with the campaign for mayor. He was a supporter of Sheila Dixon, and he made some very incendiary remarks about Mayor Pugh, the current Mayor Pugh. I'm just like, it was just over the top. You don't disrespect a black woman like that, calling her chick. That's only, I've heard a lot of stuff. Calling her chick. This is a woman that's 60 years old, 60 something years old, accomplished. You don't call her a chick, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving you a checkup from the neck up. And then you had this other one, that called former Mayor Sheila Dixon a hoe and call her a side piece, huh? So, I'm just like, and these Negroes, these dead, dumb, deaf, and blind Baltimore Bammers, they allow for this to go on. They cheer this kind of stuff. It's just their hostility and hatred towards the black woman that allows for them to even fix their mouth to call a black woman in prominence a side piece, calling her a hoe, calling her this tricked out, dicked out, whatever the hell he say. He say all kind of little disrespectful things towards these black women. So I'm saying that this is why, no legitimate movements, particularly if they're speaking in these tones, and they going in on these types of conversations. This is where they're not actually. This is why they're not taken seriously, and this is why WOL, in my opinion, has distanced themselves from Daren earlier, and now distance themselves from Donnie Glover, who hasn't been on in the past 4 months. So I was like, I know his time was Tuesdays at 10, and they must have just cut him. They must have just cut him, completely, because now they got somebody filling his time. Nobody got that time, but it's like he went off and no words of this is my last show or whatever. Like, how you gonna run for 16 years out of sight, out of mind, and then the morning show don't even have you on? Like, you must have did something very, 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 either your sponsors or that's what my speculation is. His tone and temperament and how he handled Mayor Pugh, how he disrespected her, not, and even if you would disagree with her policies or what she do, but like personal little slanderous attacks. Man, these people that's slandering these black women, they need to be ran up out of Baltimore. And I know some of you're so angry, you're so upset and frustrated about systematic oppression that you're not even able to articulate. You're not even able to say, hell, we got a black mayor. What do you want? What more do you want? Do your part. What do you want? Do your part. And that's what I'm saying. Many of these people, they not studying, Amos Wilson. They not studying Claude's. They don't have no abilities to. They don't show up at nothing. They don't show up at the Power Networking Conference and learn different business skills. So I mean, they ain't show up and get motivated. They not like for real. Connecting the dots, and these black women. I mean, there was black women on Donnie Glover's show that heard him say chick. And I was just like, man, what the hell kind of women up on here? These perpetrating black women, Phi Beta perpetrators. So that's all I have to say on that, brothers and sisters. I'm out. Go ahead and hate and love the Success Scholar. Show up. We got the film. I'm sorry, no, we got the discussion coming up here. FBI War on Tupac. FBI panelist John Potash, author of FBI War on Tupac, Hakeem Hopkins, owner of Black and Nobel, coming from Philly, Ari Squires, film producer, No More Change, business coach and author, Chineri Wright, Baltimore music scene, poet and activist, and Dr. Jared Barr, Mix What I Like, as well as a Morgan State professor, will be on Hip Hop Chronicles myself and John. So we're going to talk about All Eyes on Me and a few other topics. That's July 23rd, 1 to 4 p.m. at Everlasting Life. Tickets are $20. So that helps. We contributing to the political prisoners and Black and Nobel. So definitely, brother, step it up, show up. Everlasting Life, 9185 Central Avenue, Capitol Heights, Maryland. Holla at the Success Scholar. I'm out. Peace.